Welcome to the second tier of Apex Legends Esports.
Stallion's dead. Vizay now trying to fight you.
It's intense.
Spots him across, but trust me.
It's chaotic.
That's exactly what happened. Oh my gosh.
It's exciting.
Pound flesh.
It's...
Please.
Oh, they're looking right at the ASDF.
Oh my god.
yeah, I don't even know what that was.
They gotta make sure this team does not come up.
Unactive right now for Cutie Zach. Good shot though. Is that the opening they need? Starting to move on. Oh.
Is still trying to fight for placement. Red Dragon eventually dropped down.
Nice. Everything is dying.
It's the proving grounds of Apex Legends Esports. The Apex Legends Global Series, where the best of the best compete, with millions of dollars on the line and hundreds of thousands watching around the world for the biggest prize in Apex Legends Esports, to become the champion of the Apex Games. However, how is it that many of these pros have the chance to compete on the biggest stage of all? How can players prove themselves worthy of greatness? For many, this comes in the form of the Tier 2 competitive scene, where players aim to make a name for themselves in the hopes that one day they too will be able to play amongst the best. In order to achieve this, players must fight for their chance to compete via the ALGS Challenger Circuit. This competition is the battleground of Tier 2 Apex, an open qualifier that anyone is able to enter. Coinciding with the ALGS splits, teams will participate in 4 circuits. Each circuit goes over a weekend and is 3 days of intense action. Via randomized 20-team brackets, squads will fight to make top 10 and move to the next round, ultimately culminating in a 6-game final for the top 20 teams. After each round, points are allocated to teams depending on where they placed. The 4 squads that won a circuit, along with the next best 18 teams from this qualifier, for the chance to compete in the Challenger Circuit finale, the Pro League Qualifier. The Pro League Qualifier is a playoff pitting the 8 lowest performing Pro League teams against the best that Challenger Circuit has to offer. After an intense tournament, the top 8 teams in this tournament will get promoted to the Pro League, with the rest unfortunately having to wait until next split. The Challenger Circuit is not only a phenomenal platform to get your name out there, but it can sometimes lead to something really special. After qualifying into Pro League through the Split 1 circuit, Noctum Esports, previously known as Trojan, took the EMEA Pro League by storm, qualifying for LAN. After an outstanding performance at the Split 2 playoffs in Mannheim, they earned themselves a prestigious spot at Champs in Japan. This story, amongst countless others, pits the question, are you capable of reaching the pinnacle of Apex? If a team who came straight through the Challenger Circuit can become one of the strongest teams in EMEA and demonstrate it on the world stage, maybe you could be next. Whether it's competing in the ALGS Challenger Circuit, the newly formed BLGS, or many of the incredible tournaments thrown across the world by passionate organisers, the Tier 2 scene is here to stay. Although we can talk up what it's all about, it's probably better that you hear from some of the Tier 2 legends themselves.
Hi, my name is Asian AAA. I am the IGL of Convergent. My Tier 2 experience in the last year has been full of minor successes, I would say. Qualifying into every Tier 1 qualifier, Pro League qualifier, last chance qualifier. 3 things that inspire me to compete would be, I want to make it to LAN, because I really believe in that goal. And I want to make it for the sake of my family and myself. You know, they believe in me as well. And I'd say the last thing that inspires me is being an inspiration for others. You know, I know there's not a lot of people like myself at the top. There's not a lot of Black Apex top players. And I'd want to be somebody there for someone else to look up to and to see that it's very possible. I think Tier 2 as a whole is not a bad path to Pro League, but I feel like I changed the random contesting ability. How Pro League have it set up where you have set POIs you drop at is really good. And I think that would result in more dense end games in which better players will shine as a result, you know. So I think that'd be a good change for Tier 2 going up.
Hi, I'm Scott. I'm the owner and original founder of Convergent, the Tier 2 organization in Apex. So I was asked what it's like to run an organization that competes in Tier 2, and the short answer is it's a lot of fun. It's so much fun to see and develop those players and to believe in them. to give them a community, to cheer them on. You know you're making their day, and it makes our day as well, to see them grow and to see them be able to compete against some of the best within the region. My opinion on the current state of Tier 2, well, arguably I think BLGS really opened everyone's eyes to the fact that a lot of Pro League people are stuck behind that bubble, and they're safe in that bubble. A lot of Challenger Circuit teams and BLGS teams were able to compete with them at that level. So I do believe that Tier 2 probably could use a bit of a hard reset and a little shuffle. There are some teams that will always shine. You've got your Alliances of the world who just simply are some of the best in the world. And you'll never get away from that. But I think it's in a pretty healthy state. Competitive is where it's at, and Apex is one of the best BRs out there.
Favorite moment? I would say it would be winning game 2 of Winners Round 1 in Pro League Qualifier. It was in Down Beast, and Down Beast end zones are some of the worst experiences when you're the Down Beast team, because holding Down Beast height is like, you can just get sent.
Nice! Midkit. Good, they don't have a caustic. Beautiful!
Funny moment would be, I think we were on Godrock. I kind of remember the game it was, like the particular tournament, but we were on Godrock at Bean, and one of my former teammates, Q-Tac, was messing around with the car and got himself stuck inside of it. What? Punch me as well, bro.
So how does it work managing the team? Okay, well, it depends on the team. We have content teams, we have competitive teams. So with the content teams, we'll try and give them that air of care, similar to that of a competitive team, coaching, analysis, VOD reviews, being there to cheer them on and support them on socials and stuff like that. But with the main competitive team, the challenge we've got is we can't afford to pay people full-time salaries, so we can't demand full-time. A lot of it is based on trust and faith, that people will turn up to scrim, that they'll compete and they'll put their heart and soul into it. But really, we're a bonus. The real competitive people would be doing that anyway. We're just simply adding a little bit of flair and backing them as an organization. It's mostly just built from friendship and trust.
It's difficult to have a stable roster in Tier 2 because there's a lot, unfortunately, to put it bluntly, there's a lot of ego and like not a lot of rules, I would say, stopping teams from swapping about in such short periods of time within the competitive season. I've been teammates with Seawater for a long time because I don't think you can make a professional roster in such a short time. You have to stay with a team, or at least one teammate, to like build towards a professional roster. I would say that's like the main reason as to why we stuck together. He's a great player as well. You know, I wouldn't stick around with somebody who I didn't think I could make it with. You know, we both see the vision, and we both see it takes a lot of work, which you can't get instantly, even within a month maybe.
What's it like to work with Agent and Waddle for a long period of time?
Yeah, you should be with them kills.
Let's get it, baby!
No, you just ruined the vibe there.
What do you mean I didn't ruin the vibes? I'm locked in.
Obviously, we're just talking about our main competitive roster, but we're loyalists. We like to believe in the individuals and see them grow over time until they're ready to sort of move on. It would take something kind of special or just a complete break and change for us to go in a completely different direction with a new team. But I believe in properly putting the time and effort into it, as opposed to just cycling new players. If something goes wrong in a day, Apex is a BR, there's RNG involved anyway. We don't want to RNG our players and constantly cycle it. So we're very loyal to our people and our players and our members as a whole, as well as our community. And I think that's where it really stems from, community. So what other things do Convergent do for Tier 2? Well, I actually want to extend that to what do Convergent do for the community, not just Tier 2. We've run scrims in the past, we've run tournaments in the past, we've fund small scale events, pizza leagues as we call them, because they're for pizza money. For us, it's kind of about wanting to give all players a chance to be under the spotlight and get that little bit of glitz and glam. You may not be on the big stage, but we'll do high-end production and really try to make certain people shine. To me, that's the best feeling in the world, to be able to just give someone that little spotlight of, oh, in that tournament, the casters were on us and the camera was on us and I had a great play, or they were breaking it down really well. And for us, it's about investing into the wider community. And we've been really, really grateful to have the support from EA and Respawn, with coin codes to give away, in addition to cash that we're adding to the pot, or just codes to run those lobbies privately as well.
So there you have it. Tier 2 Apex Legends is truly a special place, and it's not going anywhere. With a community as passionate, hardworking, and skillful as we have seen, the Pro League better watch out, because in Year 5, we're coming for you.
They can just push straight into the gimme bubble. Okay, Yuka, we see you able to grab a knock. Now to the final two squads, MDY right in front of them. I believe in a Yuka supremacy.
Down in just a few moments' time, and here comes ALGS. There's a dive bomb. The grenade goes down. Will it hit? Yes, it will. The bubble goes down. Vibes moves in.
最後にもう介入した時にドームが使える、一番敵がいないところにドームを焚いて、そうですよね。さあ後から来る王者の社長出勤は T1。
Up on top, Riddle order. I don't think they can do anything about this.
Oh my god!
He hits the 360!
Respawn beacons can be absolutely massive in the end game, and of course you drop with shields now, you can pick up your loot, and every team is going to be trying to drill you, but if he can get to his box, if he can armor swap, get those weapons, that could be absolutely massive, as now teams are starting to move towards the circle, because this building is not going to be it.
Reps just waiting for the drop. How doing likewise. Shots coming down from above, but going to be exchanged. They're going to be caught in a caustic gas mess at the moment, but TSM kind of just watching everything go down. How managed to get a stick there onto Bronzy as well, as now Letter E are going to make their move. The bubble goes down. The ultimate goes down from the caustic. Keeping our eye on the feed as these teams fight, as Snipe Down is brought back into the game. He's only got an heirloom to work with, but Snipe Down's still trying to do what he can do.
He got 2 kills with the heirloom, but he's going to go down, and the rest of TSM is all down to Reps, and Reps goes off! And what have I just seen?
What did Reps just do?
There's Tong Young Kung. They still have about 5 yards of breathing room before all hell is going to break loose. Really nice rotate from Killerpos on the Gibraltar, and in comes the action. Reject getting caught out now. It looks like Bryce is the last to remain. He goes down. NLN in the middle of the circle is still doing massive damage and holding it true. Tom Young Kung may well let two teams fight as they rotate from the northern side. SQL goes down. Can NLN do this? Tom Young Kung, they drop directly on them. Where are the remaining members for NLN? It's not doable. Tom Young Kung play it perfectly.
Third Impact would also win a fight for Jazaz. He's stuck in a thermite, and it's going to be Endeavor moving in now. Bryn with the Prowler. All of a sudden, this lobby is kicking off.
Gambit is the team that has the bubble last one remaining. They're the last one to use their bubble, so they're going to get pushed in this bubble. Vice taking down Row here, and oh my goodness, Artico trying his best to survive. He survives. Alliance going down. Hawk is going down. Legit Lolly also going down. This is Gambit's game to win here. He's pushing with the EVA 8. He's looking in the bubble. He takes down one. Can he take down the last one remaining? Yes, he can. Gambit Esports is the champion for our game number 3. That was insane.
Oh, but it's going to be ESA red right in front of them. Rakanishu, Project Aces, and Joy Blackout looking to end TSM's run here, but they have no idea it's TSM.
Oh, man, and they shouldn't, because this Valkyrie team, I mean, who are you? We're trying to get TSM out of the lobby, and now the kill feed's starting to expose the truth. Oh, no, that was them?
ただ入り込んでいく。さあこれうまく囲んでフォーカス。あっという間に1人をどかしました。こうなれば有利はクレイジー楽園2人目、そして3人目。なんというキルタイム。
That's right, here comes the push, and another shot's gonna come through! Zach Mazur's on fire with the Kraber right now, next for 2, and that opens the door. Result to knocked, I don't know if they're gonna get the revive off. C9 wants to push it. They've already gotten so many kills in this game, and they're not done yet. I've been so impressed by C9 so far.
Man, G2, they gotta be going down. 2 Kraber shots, that's it! It's C9 and Sentinels. Valkyrie. Sinox, what can he do? A missile strike right now would be beautiful. We're following along with Crest, though, and the damage is already ticking. Can the Kraber change it up? Oh, it certainly can! Crust, he gets hit. He's out of the fight as well. Will C9 be able to pull this one off? From down in the depths up to the top, it is Cloud9 in the clouds. What a win!
さあそしてフェンネルもそ そろそろチャンピオン取りたい、そんなポイントになっています。フェンネルは20ポイントでマッチポイント到達です。さあドモヘッド中に入っていく。
落ちましたね。
絶妙な2枚のドームの使い分け、素晴らしい。やはりファイト強いフェンネル。これで残り5部隊12人。
Yeah, this great high ground position for ESA Black has proven to be so fruitful for them. Here it is! Drop ESA Black versus Space Station in the 3v3. Panthers connected for some good shots, but Space Station holds on for now. Metro with the Peacekeeper, that's what you want in this late game fight. 1v1 for the red. Can Metro do it in the 1v? PK and SSG will come out on top.
さあ S はそれを見守る格好ですが、そこに介入されてくる。シーフが落ちている。ここはうまく落としていきました。
ここでもうドームを使わざるを得ないので、最後にもう介入した時にドームが使える、一番敵がいないところにドームを焚いて、そうですよね。
さあ後から来る王者の社長出勤は T1。キルリーダーしっかり最後に出したプロテクトドームで身を守りながら好きなタイミングで出て取っていくだけになりました。
One player left for EXO, one player left for a Thane, and it's inside the ring, and
This is
Wolfpack
gonna be
Arctic with EXO left. You go for it.
Inside the ring versus Wolfpack Arctic, we are going to have a champion of APAC South right here. They go into the final bubble fight. Arctic lose 2 inside the ring. It seems almost certain now Zaratas is by himself. He is going to let the circle close around him unless he can win the Wraith heal off here. And Emil is actually low. Wolfpack Arctic, Zaratas with his use of Into the Void there is actually going to win the APAC South Championships.
フェンネルを潰しに行く動き。さあリングギアとともに落としに行きます。フェンネル対決はピノで落ちる。さあフェンネルこれで落ちる。さあフェンネルコリアはこれで1対1まで来た。そしてこのドームファイトを決めきることができるか。マッチポイント先行しているフェンネルコリア。ただ LFT が先に取っている。残ったのはドグマですが2対1フェンネルコリアが返し切りました。
Scars has no idea where they are. I don't even know if they know who is alive, but they're going to go for a kidnap here. They're going to find them and use the portal to try and at least get some visibility. Doing a good job playing their angles and playing this slow. Recognizing they have the high ground. They have an advantage and they can close this out here, girl.
Oh my goodness, and RPR comes in the back with the wingman. Perfect shots on Sunset. It's a 3 versus 1. They cannot lose
Brilliant
this.
plays.
And they are going in.
Scars are your champions.
Chance to do something special. 2 of them to win it all down and 1 of them to play spoiler.
Oh, nice cracks there coming from the grenades. Big grenades from bottom 20. This is where you need to clutch up as an individual. This is where you need to hit your shots if you want to call yourself a champion, if you want to lift a trophy above your head. Renegades being slightly focused here, but they've done so much damage. Can they spoil the party?
Oh, and it looks like they might. I tell you, SSG, they lose 1, but here comes bottom 20. They're coming in on the third party right now. Sorcerer has to bring out the Eva 8. Space Station were not taken down, and at the moment it's a game of peekaboo, and it looks like the move has been made now from Renegades to move in. They will be able to reset here, but no, here comes bottom 20. What a story it would be. It's all down to Pow Pow. Can he get it done for Renegades? Bottom 20 will be the champions.
But Team Liquid finds themselves in a fight. Gilderson's with the car. He's gonna get a triple kill.
Oh, he said, knock, knock, Bala. Don't worry, I got the car ready for you here. Gilderson's creating some of that space. Utilizing EMP early like we've seen before. TSM will Howl knocking them left to right. Dogma getting taken down.
Imperial Howl enters the fight and takes out 2, and he's the kill leader with 3 now. 9 squads remain. Reps in Howl.
Certainly involved in that kind of area and what will be scuffling down in just a few moments' time. And here comes Hackius. There's a dive bomb. The grenade goes down. Will it hit? Yes, it will. The bubble goes down. Vipes moves in as the air bomber called Vipes. Then Hackius and Alliance strike first.
From the skies, striking fear into the eyes of everyone around them.
I can drop you anything. Just
Don't
don't get walked up on.
Look high.
They're gonna hit the other team.
Look under now. Look under. Gibby.
Shoot the same guys.
Knock 1. Gibby, crack.
Nice.
Focus him. Shoot the Gibby now. He's cracked again.
Dead.
In the knock, Val.
They're fighting on the team, the other building. They're fighting on the building.
Kill the knock down low. Get these kills. Nice. Anyone
up? Dreamfire.
Dreamfire wanted some of the action, and that's a shred. And Dreamfire get the entry.
Duplex will fall. Optic down to 2, but 2 still alive. Tail now just shredding through the skies. And shredding on the ground as well. The car is singing.
Dreamfire in Dreamland, they're on top of the world right now. Optic down to 2. What can they do in this fight?
Optic, this is looking like a tough game to win for Dreamfire. It's looking like, how many KP can we rack up? There's your answer, Dreamfire.
It's right side, this way, right side. Yeah, beam me. Ball, please, all, please. Oh my god, dude,
Bullets across the open, a little bit of water, and now it's going to be a bubble fight in time to get a little bit freaky in the bubble, and now Morelli hits a 99. Oh my goodness!
They're jumping on each other. Come up in the air. No, 100. Caustic, got well cracked! Foul! 100, let's go!
But now Zeta, they don't know they're there, and they're just going to absolutely shred. They come out of nowhere like ghosts from the woodwork.
Taskmaster, this is what he loves. People in front of him! Puts them in the dirt!
100 Thieves trying to capitalize on a little bit of high ground, and they're looking to get aggressive. You've got to be careful though, it doesn't come down, and now you need to see teammates make damage.
Vaxelon trying to do what he can, he has to escape. Omnu has the shields. Maybe he can be the one to clean things up. Mozambique here, Mozambique might be able to pick up a few kills. He has to scarp around the corner, a spray and a pray, but no prayers answered, as Vaxelon has to be the savior now for 100 Thieves. It's chip damage, but it might not be enough, as the knockdown shield is a problem, but so is Vaxelon! Oh!
I hit the Get the Falcon in the air! Nice shot! Get the rest of the kills! Get it! One! Get it now! Hi! The last kill, I'm reloading. I can't see either. Cracked him! One! Nice! Go! Good shot!
But there was enough time for Optic to fully get themselves reset, but the shield crack comes out with the frag. This is a perfect opportunity for E to make the push. Both bubbles are down, and Optic is trying to get a little bit of height here and see if they can clean this up. The PK shots are hitting, and this is what we're looking for out of skill case, but it's still a 1v2. Will he be able to close this one out?
No, E ain't taking the final game of the night.
Stay alive.
140
out of Mandy!
Get him, Mandy!
And they get knocked! Oh! Scars! Mandy with some great... Call the ambulance, but not for Scars! Call the ambulance for Singularity!
Bro.
Mandy with some great shots! That's what I'm talking about, baby!
Oh, I love this play from Hal. He gets high ground. Hal finds a way to flank, uses the knockdown shield to survive. 4 spawns remain. Hal gets 1. Hal turns, looks for a second. He gets 2. Hal in a 1v1 for the bread.
Verhulst is right there now. He got to get the big fire on the flat lane. TSM win game number 1 to continue on their domination from day 1.
Nobody's going to be in the vicinity, but maybe there is. Here comes Dark Zero, and here comes Jen Burton.
Dark Zero trying to do what they can, trying to see if they can pick up any people. It's just Jen Burton on his own. Dark Zero down to just one. But Fnatic get ripped through.
Is that a lifeline that we are seeing right now?
We have a lifeline on display for the first time I've ever seen in the ALGS. Meltera on lifeline is not missing. He's melting.
That's not lifeline, that's wifeline out here. We got the kill leader. Having to split some of that attention, you got to give some backup to stay naughty here. The dome coming out. You gotta hold for your back. You got to give your homie some of that back here. Zach Mazer with the flat line, cleaning things up.
I'm holding knock. Hold it. Hold it. Holding it. Behind, sweet. Holding it. Just hold your knock. They're fighting. Holding it. Oh, I got him to kill. Second. I killed one. It's 2v1. Nice, sweet. I'm coming with the knock. Let's go.
And look at that. Mercy's actually getting some good shots going. Mercy goes down here, and oh my god, they're actually winning the fight. They're turning this around somehow. How are they doing it? It's going to be 1 alive here. It's going to be Golden in a 1v2. Can he survive this? Oh my god, the knock. Oh my god, another revenge shot. Can he do it?
Oh my god.
Oh my god! Golden with the 1v. How you do?
this. NRG, Cloud9. You see Sweet right now with the Volt in his hand. He connects for 80, but he's down to 1 HP. He gets knocked. Cloud9 performing, but Rambo is alive. Rambo is going to queue his way up and find a way to survive. And Rambo wins. Rambo is a monster.
Now we've got all teams on a similar level, but Volin is going to be able to use those Valkyrie jets, but is he going to be able to rejoin the fight in time? Yes, he is! Oh my god, he's shredding them!
But I don't really wide. Play the dome. I'm nading them. Slow down, guys. We need to watch our back. Cracked one. They buff. I'm bulking up a little bit here. Take the heady and we win. It's on us. Slow down, fight. Look, right there. Slow down, Mac. I'm good. They have no one. I queued it. Bow crack. Slow down, guys. Don't die here. Give me one. One shot, give me. Last guy. Duo. Oh, he's right here. Let's go, boys. Bro. Let's go. One game. We're alive.
Scars, though, in some trouble as Taishin gets taken down. Monday trying to take control over the little crevice right here. He got so much to do. The stick with the Arc Star. Make it two. You almost see me right now. Now the Valkyrie tries to fly up. He gets 2 cracks at the same time. Can he get a quick shield swap really quick right now as he becomes a kill leader?
Avoid any of the projectiles that are coming through, but it's going to be Hockey's taken to the air. He's flying in like Michael Jordan out here. He's getting a double knock. He's looking for the win. He's taken down, and that's 100 Thieves going out. Fresh is coming through for the second place, and Alliance taking game number 4.
An early split 2 that he wanted to pick him up, and what a pickup it was. And NRG takes out C9.
Robin Hood. Shot after shot. You have to worry about those Watson ult, though.
I love that Watson fence on the box, but when Yuki swings wide left, Alliance is going to do it. 2 members of 100 Thieves down and out as Alliance and Hockeys are going to win it. Are you kidding me? There's one left. There's a rat somewhere. IG's out, but 100 Thieves is running right now with their tail between their legs as Alliance hunts them down and wins this one.
With you. Nova. You can play against the wall on me. You can play against the wall on me.
Doing Loba, I got Loba. Right now. We can kill this team.
What's coming behind us? Wait. They're coming behind us though.
He's dead. I need a swap.
Shift cover. Currently see them. You see Zero Tricky picking off the black hole. He's about to get it. Everybody's in it. Get ready. Here goes Banders.
Banders on controller. He's connecting with the PK. Pop.
Scars, though, need one more point. RPR has to stay alive. Has to try and get it. Doesn't get it, though. Scars 1 point away. Alliance, they need this win.
Scars eliminated. Alliance leave it late, but Alliance march towards match point. Alliance win it.
Yes. They are. I keep them. They're gonna get He's alone. Let them fight each other. I could not give you. Put me one till. I'm full. Wait, they're fighting. No. Chill. I'm chilling. Cross the crack. They are fighting. Valk cracked. Valk. One more. Wait, Bubble. On me.
And now, Darcio is going to be your champions of the Apex Legends Global Series.
It means Moist. They are going to take advantage of that immediately. The gravity lift up on top. Riddle order. I don't think they can do anything about this.
Oh my god!
He hits the 360!
What a beast! 360 Graver shot into the top true combo! Moist take back-to-back wins on World's Edge!
And it's going to be the thing that changes this game.
The fact that Disguised have full set MDY White puts Fnatic in the power position. They can just push straight into the gimme bubble. Okay, Yuka, we see you able to grab a knock. Now to the final 2 squads, MDY White in front of them. I believe in a Yuka supremacy. I believe in Fnatic.
The Pioneers have to regroup and find a way to dissect this engagement.
They are just sitting back, looking to find any amount of KB. And Zane from a mile away with the R9 black hole going out, trying to capitalize on this. LCDF has fallen, and Gonvere might be next. They are. Now we turn our attention to the final squad, Area 310, but this is all Zane, baby.
Let's go, Zane! Up here, plenty of ammunition left. plenty of high ground. What they won't have as much of is cover during the next ring. Dojo go down, LG go down, Dreamfire are pushing for the win, but they haven't got enough, even a crack. Can they play this perfectly?
TSM in 10th, they have put themselves into contention for advanced starting points, and Dreamfire full sending down, Roy falls, 3MC falls, and TSM, they are going to find themselves in the winner's bracket.
The zone is a problem. The longer this fight gets delayed, the more difficult this is going to be, but popping a medkit at just the right time might be able to get Timmy into the fight feeling full HP. TSM having to retreat, and the Digi-Threat's going to pick up Al. First knock goes to the dojo.
But this could open things up for the likes of Alliance and Blackhand, who are taking a look, but Enemy through the catwall. Now with 30-30 in the back pocket, rips that out as well, as Timmy and Enemy are working hand in hand, and TSM go down. Dojo survive.
Alliance now finding a Bocek to work with as well, and Alliance and Hackis, well, they're having a little bit of fun right here. Lots of damage coming in from the care package weapon. Dreamfire gone, Moist gone, and I tell you what, they might all be going down to Hackis in a few seconds.
Sentinels as well, Ironblood and Realize all fall, which leaves us with 4. TSM, LG Chivas, Alliance now our last 3 teams, and TSM starting to push on in towards LG Chivas.
Oh, but look at Hackis! Hackis takes down Hal! And those arrows are piercing skin, piercing armor, piercing shields at the moment.
They're not going to be able to do it. TSM just have to wait this one out, Tim.
Yeah, but they threw up the wall to hide themselves and let those two fight. Now thumbing over on the grab slip, Hal is going crazy. Hal is showing why he has shown up to that with back-to-back wins.
If they can get damage.
Oh, this is going to cook.
I tell you what.
90 bomb. Where's the second one though? Does he get the damage? There's a couple of Hackis, but look at the movement from Hackis. Forget about your Kakyus, but now he's getting challenged on the high ground. Nathan goes down. Hackis
bringing that doorbell. Northeption trying to push from the north. Singularity also taking a lot of damage, but Elysium doing well to go on his own.
Oh, he's back!
But unfortunately, another team arrived.
Meanwhile, everyone that had moved in a lot earlier. Ooh,
we got an oob, start a fight. Esports dropping immediately down onto LCDF, trying to notch through the piercing spikes. It doesn't matter, they were prepping for maybe a Horizon grab lift approach, but not necessarily an oob. Aimbot going down, and Luskin taking heavy damage, but Jinx has fallen. Sleep is likely going to have to clutch this.
That was a rough call for Starter Fight to make. I mean, they had to go in at some point. They knew there was a team below them. Lecite de France was there, and they'd been holding that position for a while. They're now down to 1, though. They go out.
Drops down. Maybe he can try to access that box, but it looks like with just the 30-30, this is all he can work with. Reps incredibly low, gets knocked. How gets the trade at TSM?
And now it really comes down to Blackhand and NRG.
Wanted to steal that one real quick. 4 for F-Chan though, and Blackhand engaging on this fight versus NRG, who were able to reset rather quickly. Sweet hasn't popped the shield cell just yet because they got the crack over Blackhand, and it looks like squad after squad they fall as Nathan going crazy with the flat line.
And now here comes the call for FaZe.
Here's the play from FaZe. They want to take down E6, and I mentioned that Snipe Down has a prowler!
Sees that it's already empty, he's going to be able to pop the shield back for right now as the catwall is blocking to the right.
Does look like it's a 2v2 at this point. Gets the headshot with the Graver, and they'll push straight through the smoke to try and get this final wipe onto XZ here.
Voiceover? What voiceover?皆様こんにちは。1日目が終了し、注目の2日目です。昨日皆様がご覧になりました通り、アライアンス、Go Next、そしてもちろん大人気のファナティックがトップの得点で勝利を収めました。Hello and welcome. Day 1 is a wrap and day 2 has dawned upon us. Yesterday we saw Go Next, Alliance and of course the hometown heroes Team Fnatic take top scores at the ALGS Championship Day 1 debut here in Sapporo. 本日はグループステージの続きが行われます。選手たちは昨日の踏まえた結果を昨日の結果を踏まえた上で 本日の作戦を練り勝利を目指すこととなります。これからの4日間も息を飲むアクションが待ち受けていますので、ぜひお見逃しなくお楽しみください。Today we have continued with the group stage matches that are super exciting, where fate will be decided. Nothing but peak performance at the Paragon will be accepted as players are battling for coveted seats bracket stage. We may be here in chilly and snowy Sapporo, but the players will be bringing the heat as they try to get into the brackets.
Hey, what a moment. Man, I am always impressed with Mr. Reinhardt. Incredible to be that fluent in Japanese and to have that lovely British accent as well. It's just a pleasure working with him. We get to have train rides, or I guess bus rides, van rides with him, and hear him speak colloquially like that to just anybody. It's unbelievable. It's always fun to see. So thanks, Ryan, for that intro. Welcome back, everybody, to our broadcast for series number 3 of the day. It is day 2. Day 1 is done and dusted, and this is also about to put a capstone on our second day, the last moment of group stages, which leads to us sending potentially some teams home in our elimination round 1 tomorrow. So stay tuned. You want to avoid that. We'll see if groups A versus D can then themselves. My name is Rainday, joined by a new lovely Des. We've seen them before, but not necessarily in this order. Jayhawk, of course, Snipe Down, and Jamerson from last series as well, guys. A versus D, obviously a lot to look at, but also B versus C. That was an incredible game. Knocked him going back-to-back and winning series today. That is a special feat for them.
Yeah, and I think it really goes to show what LAN experience can do for a team, because in Germany, that was their first LAN for all 3 players. And now they're coming into champs. They know what it takes. They didn't make the winner's bracket in Germany. And now here, back-to-back sets, they've absolutely dominated. They're going to the winner's bracket, and they're already looking far better than they did in Anaheim.
In a weird way, it takes kind of the star power, or at least the shine off of Aurora and Cloud9. Cloud9 was coming in. We were able to interview, I think it was Nani, saying, you know, we got 74 points. The winner got 75. I mean, we could have been sitting here doing the winner's interview, but Snipe, that just goes to show sometimes, I don't know, that could be a benefit for Cloud9 if people are kind of focusing a lot on Noctem and their performance is kind of just creeping up.
Yeah, I mean, you have Cloud9. I think there's 2 teams specifically that have been doing extremely well in scrims, and it's Envy and Cloud9, which are 2 teams that have flown kind of entirely under everyone's radar. I really think that this Envy roster is going to come out in this series, and for some reason, Dropped has always been like this in almost every tournament. It's a little bit of a slow start, and then in the 3rd series, he steps up, he IGLs his team to the points that they need to make it to the winners bracket finals, and then they go in and they make it to the finals. I mean, he's consistently there. He was one of the only people to make almost every single finals for a very long time. And then you look at the C9 roster, and Shubi, you know, he left that roster who was part of Envy, and then now he's with C9, and everyone's having a lot of success. So it's good to see, you know, these teams that split apart, the players still end up doing just as well.
So obviously we've talked about this last match here with Noctem winning both. We've mentioned the shine it's taken from Aurora and from C9. We've also talked a little bit about, and I think must show again, Fnatic's impact on winning that final game, Jamerson. But really, when you look back at our previous show, Gaming Gladiator showed up, Fnatic showed up, Noctem obviously showed up. It was a range of teams that performed well.
Yeah, and again, for Noctem to be able to shine in a lobby like that, I mean, we're also forgetting to mention Gaming Gladiators. They've been on an upward trajectory for the last entire year. Pro League Split 2, they were doing amazing, finished off strong, and then, of course, came out big when it came to Mannheim. But in this lobby, somehow Noctem, at 145 points, they're in 3rd place in the overall leaderboard. They might change by the end of the day, but to be able to top that leaderboard after 3 sets is absolutely insane.
Yeah, and it continues to be, you know, a great opportunity to see teams have their moments and celebrate wildly. I mean, Complexity stretching like that. We got the kangaroo pouch going from Aurora. You know, what will we continue to see? Noctem, the only ones maybe not going outrageously, but getting it done here with the points. 23 to start here as we got into game 4, but they would just pick this up again and again. They'd ended up with 60 points, so 37 more, a better back half than the start Jayhawk. That's a good sign for a team that can scale up their efforts and also kind of scale the value of what they're giving as the tournament goes on.
Absolutely, and we're talking about a match point lobby. Ultimately,
that's right.
You have to win games. In the last 2 sets, they've shown us they can win games, and they can do it in a very dynamic fashion where they're putting up massive amounts of KP. That kind of performance, that reminds me of Gaming Gladiators in Germany, Optic at last year's championship, where they hit match point in only 3 games. If Noctum can do that in the finals, it could get really, really wild.
And I think it is a good point because some teams you worry about it. Noctum have proved it. We may not have known it yet. A team that hasn't won a game has also been on our radar, and that's Falcons tonight.
Yeah, so we were doing some stats, and Falcons is by far the #1 kill-heavy team, but they have made top 3 38% of their games and not won a single game yet. So when you come to like match point format, yeah, it's great getting the kills, but you know that they want the win. They need to figure out how to win games instead of just going for the 2nd place or the 3rd place, and it'll be interesting to see if they can clutch that up or if they're just going to keep playing their comfort game and just getting the kills around the map.
And let's be frank, I mean, split 2, Mannheim, not a very happy moment for them. 20th place in that tournament, and obviously Falcons now going into winner's bracket most assuredly with the 2nd place amount of points, looking to change that narrative. Noctum, Aurora, Gaming Gladiators, and Fnatic all proven steadily alongside Alliance skill here and there, but that they can win games. So about 6 out of those 8 top teams, Jamerson, proving that not only are they good at gathering those points, they're very lethal when it comes to finishing and putting themselves in a position to, when we get to match point, be a threat. On the other side of it, though, and I want your thoughts on this, there are some teams that I feel like have had great performances between their, I don't know, counterparts, their shadow selves. It feels like Meteor and Fnatic were going back at it day one, back and forth. They still find themselves with 67 points. These are the teams we're going to be looking at. Can they get over that precipice and find themselves into winners with a good group?
Yeah, honestly, we're seeing how much the playing field has been leveled out, I think, across regions, across this entire competition. The simple fact that, you know, we haven't had a blowout series yet. We haven't had a team go 90 points in 6 games, which was something that you would kind of regularly see in group stages. Yeah. We're not seeing that kind of dominance. We are seeing teams with consistent wins, though, and I think that is going to be important moving forward. But yeah, it looks like now here at Champs, it is seeming like it's going to be anyone's game.
Yeah, there's a lot to look at. And you know, I think as we continue at Jayhawk, I want to kind of go into the teams that are going to be playing in A versus D, because this gives us the perspective of where we stand. These teams, one last chance, and it goes from Shopify Rebellion to TSM to Exoplan. Where do your eyes take you immediately?
I mean, obviously, like you mentioned, Shopify, TSM, these are teams that are going to be going through to the winner's bracket, but I'm looking at some of the teams that are maybe on the outside looking in currently. NRG, FaZe Clan, Oblivion, Ninjas of Pajamas, a lot of these teams are down on the bottom half of the leaderboard. We've seen teams in the past have a massive final set to end the group stages. I'm thinking back to last year, Oxygen, FaZe Clan, Optic. These teams needed 50+ points and they were able to get it done. And some of these teams in Group A do it as well.
I love that too. And you're talking about championships. Well, 2023, that was won by TSM. Yes, Imperial Hal no longer with Verholst and Reps, but 2 out of 3 of those members still here competing. They want to prove to themselves and prove to the rest of the world that they're not just going to be a 97-pointer, a big game that could put them back up at the top of this entire leaderboard snipe. But take a look at Group D, Alliance, Crazy Raccoon, 2 of those 3 members winners of our Split 1 playoffs in Los Angeles back last year.
Yeah, I mean, once again, Crazy Raccoon, you know, they've had some exciting games so far this weekend, and I think it's another one of those experiences that people are looking for that team to do more than they have in the past. They always seemed like they're one of the teams that could just pop off, but have been very lackluster when it comes to these games. And another team that is actually standing out is Liquid Alienware. For some reason, they've been dominating, won BLGS, all that, and then at every tournament, it comes down to the final series for them to get enough points. We saw it last time where they dropped, like, it was a win in the final game for them to barely get through group stages to make it to the brackets, or they were just eliminated. And it was like they're a team to do that, and I expect a couple of these to, it's going to be a shootout in this final series. We know it.
Teams will be waiting with bated breath, whether they've played already and are hoping that no one passes that point threshold and they stay in the top 20, or if they get that big win like Team Liquid Alienware and finally put themselves into winners so they get a day off of rest and enjoying themselves in Sapporo. Jamerson, though, a team that kind of, you know, brings a big brand, a big name, and a lot of history is NRG. You kind of wanted to focus on them heading into their last match matchup in our group series.
Yeah, what's important for NRG here is that they do have 55 points, right? So there is a path to victory. You want about 35 by the end of this series, so that's going to be roughly 6 points per game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for them, though, this draft, which was done, you know, way before the event, is not working out in their favor. If you take a look at World's Edge, that's their probably most favorable draft. It was their first pick for them. They're going to be going over to Lava Cypher. We're starting off on World's Edge, I believe. And in those two games, they need to open up this series with wins or really high-pointing games. Because once we move on to E-District, things are looking really difficult for them. They're going to have to deal with NIP, they have to deal with FaZe, they have to deal with Supernova, who are all there at the lower end of the leaderboard, who are going to be looking to get super aggressive, who are going to look for KP. So in E-District, they have to deal with that. And then when we move on to Stormpoint, well, that was their last pick. There was their third pick, and they have to contest with Alliance, playing off of North Pad and Trident. So NRG, they're going to have a difficult go of it. I feel like, you know, we were expecting a lot more with the addition, once again, of Gilder, since we just haven't seen it quite yet. And I feel like that might really come down to the simple fact that we know that Nocturnal, he's one of the best pilots. He can get you into center zone. The issue now is that there are so many teams here who are playing center zone. Traditionally, in the past year, we're looking at a split about, I don't know, 13 teams trying to play center zone, 7 teams playing edge. Here, we have about 17 teams trying to get into that end zone really early on, and a few teams playing on edge.
Great breakdown of what NRG need to do. And one of the interesting aspects of, I think, esports and of these stories of where things are working out once and maybe they've hit a little bit of a rough patch is seeing how they can transform into something greater. Sometimes your biggest highs kick off some of your biggest lows, but it's not what happens to you, it's what you do with that information and with what happens. And sometimes people thrive in that chaos. Sometimes people find a way to reinvent themselves. And one person comes to mind who's been at the top and has struggled to find their way back and is currently here fighting for a chance at winner's bracket. I'm talking about none other than Abreleli.
Gamers Origin or TSM, who will be your champions?
In the moment, I really couldn't believe that it happened.
Portal out here for TSM. 5 seconds and counting.
I still was kind of in shock.
Worried about is there just a setback here for TSM? Who is going to do it? TSM!
It's kind of crazy being thrown straight from being like a nobody to a somebody so fast.
And you're winners of the Apex Legends preseason invitational.
When you're walking out onto stage to go lift that trophy with your teammates, nothing really compares to that. Nothing sets you up for the overwhelming emotion that's gonna hit you. Winning really early, all eyes are on you constantly. The feeling of what now kind of turned itself into self-destructiveness. After the LAN, I didn't really know what to do. And then COVID hit, and that feeling just got even more intense. Losing the opportunity of playing at LAN and not knowing when that will ever come back completely destroyed my mental at the time. I just became very angry and distant to everybody. The way that I was feeling at that time basically led to the destruction of that TSM roster. That really led to the basically free fall between a bunch of different rosters. I kept trying to find some kind of stability and right feeling with a team. And it took a really long time to try to find that. Reflecting on a lot of the mistakes that I made with my previous rosters kind of showed me that I needed to just stop trying to be the hero of the teams and give my teammates the trust that I want them to have in me. I think what's special about Stallions is that we all kind of fit into our role properly. Guri is very much like the glue of the roster. He keeps things lighthearted. Crook, he's quiet but chill and very level-headed. I'm the more serious one, I guess. Success in this tournament would mean everything to us. Going into this LAN, we're unsigned. Crook still works a normal job. Polo does too. If we're successful, then orgs have their eyes on us. For me personally, success in this tournament would kind of show me that it wasn't all for nothing. The amount of hardship and struggling that I personally have been through the past couple of years would just be really self-fulfilling for me to know that it was all worth it.
vulnerability expressed in that video, I want to tip my hat to Alberlelli. It's not easy to be on top, and we all know it wasn't easy to go through COVID, but to be aware of that, know that he's got to give to his teammates the trust he hopes they would have for him. Snipe, that's some great self-awareness, and I think hopefully is going to lead to Stallions finding that breakthrough here.
Yeah, I mean, the openness and candidness of Mac Alberlelli is just extremely awesome to see, because I can relate. I started my career near the top, kind of slowly went down, and starting at the top and then working your way down is almost harder than starting from the bottom and working your way up, because you start to have self-doubt. You start to have all these things of, you know, can I get back to the top? Can I do this? And I think Mac in the interview is, you know, he was his own biggest enemy in this, and he finally found a roster of people. Scurry is like the vibes king. He makes all these like random funny noises. You play with him. He's awesome. I think he found a team that he knows trusts him. And we saw it when they won the last chance qualifier to be here. He was the best player in that lobby by a mile, and it was the faith he had in himself, the trust his teammates had in him, and I think that goes a long way, and it goes to show, you know, a lot of his teammates were almost on their way out as well. This was almost like a team of like a little bit of outcasts in a sense that formed together. Were like, we trust each other, and that is what got them here at this tournament, and I know they're thinking the same thing going into this, and their goal is to do as well as they can, and Mac's dream is back. And I think it just goes to show you that if you believe and you want something enough, there's a lot of life lessons in this, is that you have to continue to push even when you feel like you are at the bottom.
I think also, Jay, it's something about how even in your darkest moments, there is a next moment. And sometimes that moment may still be dark, but if you keep on going through that, there is light at the end of the tunnel. You may not know where it comes from, but it can shine, whether it's your own introspection or maybe something that happens, the right teammates that pull you out of it and get you going on that path that makes you feel good.
Yeah, and I think the first step there is what he kind of acknowledged, which was the self-accountability of like, he was, like Snipe said, he was his own biggest demon. He was the one that led to sort of the destruction of some of these rosters, and realizing some of the things that caused that, I think, pulls him out of it. And then you find people that can surround you, and instead of allowing you to maybe get back into that state, pull you back up out of it. I love to see this redemption story, because at least for me personally, Alberlelli was the player that got me into Apex Legends. Yeah. So seeing him back on this stage is actually really special.
I've seen him pioneer so many different things. Really the first trophy lifted in Apex, seriously. He had X Games, but when it came to that preseason invitational and watching TSM win that one in match point, there's nothing like it. It was a high that I think a lot of us still remember being there, and also would be hard to get over. But this is a new journey. He's turned a new leaf, and Stallions sit in 26th place right now, currently outside of winner's bracket. Can they make it? A lot of eyes will be on Alberlelli, Scurry, and Crook in just a moment. We're getting very close to it. Jamerson, I just want to get your final thoughts on that, because what a great piece, but also we have kind of seen the theme of today be teams that maybe didn't start off as your 1, 2, 3 teams to watch, be the ones that at the end of the day are saying we won the group.
Yeah, the thing is, we've been doing this for a really long time. When Apex launched in 2019, it hit the entire world by storm, right? And I remember the first introduction that I had to Alberlelli was my friend O-Nickel. He put out a video, hey, best Pathfinder, here are your best tips for Pathfinder. And then all of a sudden, you know, he gets picked up by TSM, he's playing at X Games. That was 6-7 years ago. And he was a baby back then. As a father, I've seen him grow, right? And so now I'm thinking to myself, wow, that is great to see him mature like that, and honestly, I have almost like a fatherly pride to see where he's at now.
So many people excited to see it. It's about time to take a look as well. A versus D about to kick off, and before we get in the game, let's send it over to our casters who are ready to get this show on the road. It's Dia and Graceful. Let's kick off our final series.
Thank you so much, Rain Day. I love what you guys have set up. A lot of, interestingly, as Jamerson was talking about, a lot of pride in what you can accomplish here on this stage, and specifically in this series, Graceful. One of the things I'm most interested in is finding that light in the darkness, because these are dark times for some of our rosters, but it is also one of the moments in this tournament where there is the most hope for you. Not only do you still have the opportunity in the next bracket to go through and make it to the finals, whatever you end up in, winners or losers, but here you can go from losers bracket to winners bracket so quickly, and even teams like Stallions that are sitting in 26th have that choice.
Yeah, and this is the thing, Dia, is that sometimes you gotta, you know, as Rene said, sometimes at the end of that tunnel you find the light, but sometimes you just gotta pull the light out of you. A lot of the time, you know, you're kind of fighting yourself, because like we talked about doubt and stuff, is that, you know, you got to put in time enough to see consistency and practice. And sometimes you feel like you're getting let down, whether that be by your own mistakes, whether it be by the team's mistakes or anybody else. And I feel like the mental blockage actually releases over time as you get the smaller achievements. People tend to look at LAN as the only win, but sometimes you just got to start small and take baby steps. You know, you got to win that first scrim, you got to win that first online, you got to win that qualifier, and then eventually you get to the LAN.
And already, if you're a team like Envy, you've got your first small win. It may not be in terms of the points just yet, but Envy, sitting at 25th overall right now, have a chance to make their way into the winner's bracket. And fortunately enough for them, Graceful, they've got a zone pulling right next door.
Huge shown again once again towards Turmoil is, you know, people are already noticing this zone. They've seen this zone and the tendencies. A lot of people are opting to go deep into this zone, but I've seen this zone pulled more towards the mountain actually, which is kind of scary where the evac is placed right now. We'll have to see how teams are playing this out because, as we've said before, on this map specifically, a lot of teams tend to rotate early, but with macro, you know, and everybody knowing their macro, they're probably going to run into other teams. Like to see, though, Valk here, a recon character we normally don't see, so that should ease a little bit on their macro.
Yeah, Furia are going to get a lot more information on the teams around them. Actually, somebody coming out of Skyhook right now. That's a mix of ninjas and 100 thieves that should be encountering each other in the tunnel as we speak. But with the fast rotates that you mentioned a lot of teams favoring, Valkyrie will not only help you see what else is going on, but be able to navigate through that so much more quickly with her skyward dive. So I do wonder whether Furia will choose to take that right now, because what I'm seeing from them is instead a movement up towards the north that takes them away from the zone and into Skyhook.
Yeah, I would assume that they want to go mid-range, but speaking of mid-range, everybody's getting caught on macro right now. Shadow's already in a fight right here in the choke. Going to see how this unfolds.
Shadow 3690 do have high ground and a nice thermite. One might say a fatty thermite if we're taking lessons from earlier. And these Skynades are not finding a lot of purchase onto them. My big question is whether they'll commit onto the low ground. That bubble fort suggests that they might, but I'm not seeing Shadow 3690 commit. Instead, that is a big trade back onto Jackie 1. I would be remiss to push this myself, but Supernova have no such reservations. Leaping on board, this team needs the points, and Ken, searching with the Peacekeeper, is going to find the first knock. Ken is taking their fate into his own hands and helps eliminate 3690 with the help of Oblivion.
As Shadows get eliminated, Oblivion pulled up behind, looking to 3-pit this fight. Did he catch anyone off guard? So far they didn't. They did catch one. Ken goes down, Walking L takes the L, and now they're chasing the last guy running away. It's going to be a hard, tough, you know, disengage because he's actually getting ulted on top by the Newcastle. He's going to run up the stairs, and he, made it out for the moment. We'll see if he can make it. Reeds is hella fast, though.
He's got a little gimme bubble soon. Oh,
and
he was not quite.
It was a good try.
It was a good try.
You know, Supernova, they're a little bit behind. They need a couple of nukes to make it through because these amount of games is not cutting it. We're right now seeing Effect fall to his doom. Effect, no!
That's unfortunate. It is just unfortunate. That's a pretty easy recovery, but it's, you know, it'll stymie your morale for a second.
I mean, especially since they have, you know, a team in Overlook chasing them now as well, seeing that. I'm sure they can get the reset. Nobody's really chasing them too far. They're chilling a little bit. That's good.
Oh.
Crazy Raccoon, however, seeing Oblivion get that Jibby kill.
I'm actually surprised. As we panned away from Overlook, Enterforce 36 were actually coming through. So Alliance are going to take a much longer reset than they might have otherwise. That's a very interesting turn of events. Now, Crazy Raccoon and Oblivion do meet up with each other. I want to talk about Supernova for a second, since they did go out earlier, but Alliance have just hit a respawn, so there's a chance that we get some action over there. Holding on to it for now. We'll talk about Supernova in just a second. E36 already on top of Alliance.
Yeah, Alliance in a bubble fight against E36, chasing them. Huge bubble fight. Unlucky, however, has shown promise in these bubble fights, getting huge damage in. Trading now, 2 for 1 for E36. Can he close out the fight? And they're hitting the crack already. Effect, though, doesn't turn down without a fight, and Alliance goes out early.
Effect almost clutched that, but unfortunately is going to go down. Now, the thing is that in this series for Alliance, it's not the worst thing in the world. This, however, for the Ninjas in Pajamas could be exactly what they need, because every point is going to matter so much for the Ninjas, who currently sit in 37th, currently well into losers bracket territory.
Yeah, although Alliance went out early, they're pretty much kind of safe into the winner bracket. What we're looking for right now is Ninjas being hungry, which is something we've been missing. They've always been over-rotating early on, looking for pretty much just praying that the zone is going towards them. Now we're seeing a little bit of more, you know, edge / into mid-speed rotation. Hopefully they can pick up a couple of kills.
Zane was out of fuel for a second, but one last shot would do it. Instead, a bubble is going to stop Zane just that little bit short, and Amphi Tarzaning his way on in will end up helping collect the kill. E36 still around, still alive, are moving into Monument, perhaps to try and res. Maybe they'll find a different place to craft up and then ultimately pick their teammates back into the game. But Ninjas collecting at least 2 kills for right now is going to be some welcome points for them. Already starting to move closer to their average, as on World's Edge, Ninjas have averaged about 3.8 points per game, and they're going to need a heck of a lot more to surpass where they currently are in the standings.
Seeing this zone pull as well might confuse people because, you know, is he going to pull south of the mountain or is he going to pull north of the mountain? A lot of teams right now are, you know, setting up already. Go Next, however, very comfy in the tunnel. They can rotate to both sides if they want to, but other teams such as, you know, Envy, who thought for sure this is going to pull deep into Thermal, it's going to have to adjust a little bit.
I'm a big fan of where Cloud9 are at right now. I was
the catwalk?
I was talking to you about Cloud9 earlier and how they're a very impressive team in this series, in today's games, in this tournament. They and Alliance actually have the chance to top the leaderboards. They are the 2 highest placed teams that are playing right now. And again, to re-emphasize, in my opinion, they've got one of the best spots in the zone.
Yeah, for sure. They are not only, like, they're pretty much guaranteed through the winner's bracket, but what they can do is get first in all of groups, which is, you know, very impressive. Ninjas, however, scrapping for any kills they can, still chasing for E36, evacing on top of him, and he's gonna go down. And that's still a good start for Ninjas. You know, they're all on triple purple right now, got a couple of kills, got some more loot, and the most important part, more, you know, momentum and confidence getting those kills.
Yeah, I mean, we're down to 16 teams, so this is already a very fast lobby.
Yeah.
I mean, impressed with the way that Ninjas were able to isolate and eliminate. They knew exactly what they were doing. It is not an accident that they found the last member of E36 here. This was a coordinated search and destroy effort, so very well done for Ninjas, and they've got to move a little further south now, as Shopify Rebellion are doing much the same, but this time through staging.
And that's the thing you have to keep in mind as well, is that a lot of people, this is the last stage before groups. People are throwing Hail Marys right now. We're seeing Valks come out, we're seeing other comps getting picked, and people are getting more aggressive than normal because, hey guys, what we did before didn't work. We got to pull something out now. And for Ninjas, that seemed to be working fine.
Yeah, I like the move, I like the aggression, and I think that if you are Ninjas, if you are any team that's currently outside of the top 20, scrapping for these kills is going to be a really good idea. It doesn't matter how they come to you, what matters is that they ultimately do. Furia, we mentioned them playing a little bit safer earlier. They are also sat technically outside of the top 20, although for them, I'm a little less concerned because they're currently sat at 22nd and have a whole series ahead of them.
Yeah, they have more leeway to not needing big games. Right there, we're talking about one solid game or like a little bit of consistency and they'll make it through. However, you know, other teams have to pressure a little bit more. But that's also why we see such a big change, you know, on people's game styles. So many more teams are playing mid-speed now. Before, we used to seeing, you know, between 8 to 14 teams playing center circle. Right now, we don't even have 10 at some point. And now, sure, the zone did shift, but people are adjusting to mid-speed a lot more, which have seen a lot of success this tournament specifically.
Yeah, and I mean, especially now that we're spending a little more time on World's Edge. When you and I began all this, we were also starting on E-District, which it does tend to lean a little bit more zone-heavy, or rather, I want to say separate teams from, you know, playing zone, playing edge. There's a lot less mid-speed teams on E-District, simply because there's a lot more space to play zone if you really want to.
Yeah, 100%, and that's, you know, the beautiful part of Apex is that the different maps pull out different game plans and strategies. People might, you know, not like it for other reasons, but when it comes down to strategic values, it's definitely different. You can approach it differently.
Yeah, Crazy Raccoon actually approaching from the south side. We just saw them move on through tree. Noticing, in fact, that this south side is almost entirely empty. Envy are going to get a Mythic crate completely uncontested. Here's hoping it's got a Kraber, because I'd love to see a few more of those in the lobby. But Crazy Raccoon are going to have to deal with likely Liquid Alienware and almost certainly NRG on their next rotation.
This is the big thing, though. The zone pulled north. Oblivion is currently in God spot. Go Next is in a solid spot, however, highly contested power spot. They might actually just be getting dove from behind whilst the team tries to take the card in the front. They actually need to make sure to show presence early on. So from Go Next, I'm looking to see highly aggressive presence establishing, whereas Cloud9 needs to decide, do we want to go left, do we want to go right? Because teams right now are looking to rotate back into staging side and Harvester side, whereas Harvester side is looking kind of free. It's going to be heavily contesting on the western side of the map as other teams are diving currently. Ninjas in Pajamas getting into a good spot in the crevice.
You know, I was just thinking, what are power spots in this end zone? And this actually is often one. Playing on the low ground is going to be really nice if you can sit there in the late game. I am surprised to see Ninjas take it so early, but Ninjas, if they can defend against Liquid Alienware and hold on to this, have a very technically good spot for later.
And this is the thing, this comp can make this into a power spot. If you're not this comp, surviving here is very hard. However, they're making it work because other teams don't want to use too much utility either. And here they did get it down. Are they going to send it or not? It's a real question. They are getting nades through now. Huge nades coming through. They're actually going to push this probably. They get huge cracks, double cracks, bubble forward. Cells second down, and they're going to clean up this fight most likely. And they're dead. And that's just what happens when you overpeak.
Yeah, that was rough. Rough. I think that's where you'd rather have a Newcastle resing, so you can at least move out of the way of those grenades in the meanwhile. Being immobile and stuck on the low ground, that's just opening things up for Team Liquid, who very much are going to be thankful for not just the points, but the position. They know very few other teams are going to contest with this low ground, and now you've got bits of a Newcastle wall and plenty of loot to sustain you to the late game there.
Surviving there, I'm pretty sure they would have survived if they didn't overpeak, because normally a lot of times you're looking for an opener to push. They say, if I get it down, we will push. If not, then we will not push. They did get down, and hence came the nade rain, and they got double cracked in that round.
Those were great.
However, see, Crazy Raccoon right here is just, you know, chilling right next to Oblivion in the house. They're just coexisting, making sure, hey, we'll take care of your back. If you take care of our front, we both get the goodies, and we'll see what happens.
An unexpected turn. Furia are making their way out of where the Ninjas in Pajamas previously were. So they finally made their way down through the north and are sat in this small crevice that actually provides them some decent safety for now. It can transition into a good late game spot if they've got some cover by this car as well. But this whole south side of the ring, this is starting to devolve as TSM begin their fight up against Envy. Remember, Envy got the Mythic Crate earlier, so I am wondering what sort of loot TSM might be able to pick up off this should they win the fight.
Yeah, TSM staying aggressive and showing, hey, this is why we have been popping up. We're not scared of taking fights, walking up on the train rail, pushing Envy into a pinch, and they're now actually pinched by Stallions as well. One more going down, they're going to get the rest most likely, but TSM very happy with it.
Stallions actually definitely a team to watch, especially after we heard from Albraleli during the pre-show. Wondering what TSM will be able to cook up with Envy here, and I'm wondering whether Stallions will feel like jumping on it. Albraleli actually going to collect the kill for that, so the point going to him, the loot going to TSM.
Yeah, seeing these, you know, one of them was forced off the map, essentially. He's by the crane right now. Last member of Envy, Yanya, sitting here, healing up, but he's still a solo. It's going to be hard to get a rest off of here since there's actually 5 teams nearby, and the zone is pulling a lot towards them. C9 here, taking a fight to face on high ground, what we like to call catwalk in the northeast choke. Needing to fight due to the fact that there was a team in the tunnel before showing presence. Huge fight coming out with the Newcastle ult, and Nade's time is coming out.
This is just Nade Central. Again, we see all the bubbles go down, and suddenly there's no cooldowns, and there's no phase either. That was an extremely quick wipe and very well coordinated by C9. And we've got Stallions up here on the high ground. Let's hear from them as they approach this journey. Will they find the light at the end of the tunnel?
Look right! No, fly! Come to me all the way, Jim, go!
No, that doesn't change anything.
Yes, it changed because we're gonna have the fucking Newcastle down, and we still have pack. We killed them, bro. If we get the spot before them.
Bro, I died going down the stairs.
Earlier, graceful. This is looking very good for them. Team Liquid Alienware also starting to pick up kills on Dreamfire. We are at 10 squads left, and they are dropping like flies as the zone is pulling us closer and closer to staging.
Zone is about to move in 40 seconds, and chaos has unfolded. Right now, Liquid Alienware still staying in the same position as previously, killing out ninjas. Now, Dreamfire is staying right behind. They're gonna get gate kept by that. Oblivion still in a very comfortable spot as before. Go Next came through the tunnel and is dominating the entire train rail as Crazy Raccoon is dropping right now into this fight. We are dropping on all of that damage, and they're getting their first down, second down, and will this be cleaned or not? We'll see. 2 downs for sure though, 2 kills, and more loot to take home.
Yeah, as long as you full thirst these, Crazy Raccoon do have a little bit of time to climb back up. 7 seconds left on this zone close, and you want to get back up with the team before that. Obli waiting patiently for the rest of the squad. Team Liquid Alienware still alive in here, but Team Liquid are about to lose all of the cover that they've earned. I do wonder if Exo's actually going to get this rest. It doesn't look like it. Swinny is burning to death, and Swinny is cooked.
Go Next, making sure that they don't get the reset is huge because they're gonna drop onto that platform later, most likely. Shopify Rebellion playing underneath the bridge where it got out. Crazy Raccoon came from the crevice side with here a huge wall actually helping them kind of because Liquid Alienware went earlier. Furia and Liquid Alienware are kind of playing on top of each other, so this hold is gonna be a little bit rough since Crazy Raccoon still is not in the zone after this closing. Go Next, however, staying very comfortable on that bridge. I'm honestly looking at Go Next, Shopify Rebellion, and 100 Thieves, either of them to take this game. Wow. Crazy Raccoon is going to have a impossible cross, essentially, depending on how many nades they play.
That is just 3 teams looking straight at you, man.
Depends on nades.
Nothing that you can do here. And unfortunately, Newcastle Wall is only going to provide them some small safety. What's really big, though, is that Liquid Alienware and Furia have started to fight. That's taken the focus off of Crazy Raccoon. And while the wall may not have saved them, they've actually done enough just by surviving in order to give the other teams time to distract each other. Furia, focused on surviving on the high ground, still want to take out Crazy Raccoon, but no one's helping them do it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for them due to the fact that everybody's pushing everybody else to make the first move. Nobody's really safe except Shopify on the other side of where the zone ends, and Go Next on top of the bridge is going to have to fight. Shopify is looking to take on top of the bridge to 3P. However, Furious is looking to punish Crazy Raccoon for having that spot with nades now coming in. We'll have to see if they can get the thirst or not. This is going to be iffy in about 25 seconds.
Just not going to be full thirsted here, so at least that's 1 down. You see another bubble come down as well, but Go Next up on staging, do get forced to use a bubble themselves. Loba here is big, actually, and Go Next being able to use that are going to have much more utility than any other team. Nice destruction, actually, on this balloon will keep other squads from being able to jump up onto Go Next as well and keep them safe on the high ground.
Rebellion actually only has 2 more options now. If they have more evacs, great. If they don't have evacs, I hope they learn how to climb up from underneath the bridge because you can actually climb up on the bridge from underneath, and that's a cool thing to do. Hopefully we see that. Furia, however, here goes for a Balco, most likely gonna oob and drop on somebody's forehead. We'll have to see. Crazy Raccoon has to do is walking in, but should be held out by Oblivion.
Especially because they're going to have no bubble after this. Like, very soon, Crazy Raccoon are coverless, and again, you are hoping that somebody else gets focused on Furia, dropping right on top of Go Next. This is going to be a battle for the ages as Madness picks through the bubble, taking out Go Next with a Mastiff to the face. Now facing off against 100 Thieves, Furia are resetting, taking control of the high ground and making sure that they are not pushed subsequently. Go Next, Crazy Raccoon out, 5 squads left, and Furia need to control the high ground. They're looking straight at 100 Thieves. It's a battle between these 2 teams for the height as Liquid Alienware control the low ground. Shopify Rebellion are down and out. Oblivion on the low ground, Liquid on the low ground, and it's 100 Thieves and Furia battling for the height.
Furia managed to take the high with the Valkyries, but humongous as they 3P the bridge fight. 100 Thieves, however, still looking to hold as I believe they have to drop last. They're probably going to drop into the bubble, but Team Liquid managed to put out an ult early on as the other 3 teams are about to contest each other.
Liquid are chilling. Liquid don't have to do anything. They're watching teams drop on top of each other, and Furia is finally going to look at them, try and send it on to Team Liquid, but Keon, it's just him left and he tries to fly away. 100 Thieves dropping right onto Oblivion will take them out, and it's their top 3 squads as we've still got 1 member, Keon of Furia, still alive and running things out as Liquid Alienware and 100 Thieves go head-to-head. Keon will go down, and even through the wall, Liquid Alienware tear 100 Thieves apart.
Liquid Alienware, indeed. They managed to go from a road, like they went from inside Harvester, fought for Kravis, went from Kravis straight underneath the high ground, came back to where Crazy Raccoon was playing as a duo, managed to stall long enough, and despite getting absolutely sent by Furia because they didn't have an option, it's either to drop on 2 teams or fight Liquid, they decided to opt for the 3v3. Liquid takes them out and then wins the game. That was phenomenal.
Liquid had there what Crazy Raccoon would have killed to have,
yes.
which is every other team looking straight at each other while they just sit in the open ground and go, all right, well, what's gonna happen next? It was a very nice finish for Liquid and well thought out, well timed. You can't make these things happen all the time, but being able to notice when it's your moment, that'll get you something like a 23-point game.
23-point game. We already knew before that Liquid Alienware was kind of close to making the cutoff. Now, they're even closer to making the cutoff. I would say they even have able to have 2 bad games and still make it through. That's how confident I am right now. Other teams, however, also picking up kills. We're actually seeing kind of even. Even though it's 23 at the top, it's 14, 10, 11, 10. That's even, and I like all of that. All for the teams as well. 100 Thieves, Furia, and Rebellion all need those points. Oblivion catching them as well is really good as they're moving up slowly but surely. Super game.
And Kurev picking up 5 kills was a huge pickup for Liquid Alienware going into BLGS, was a huge contributor to the success of Dragons in previous lands as well. And now, on this roster, has continued to make them look better and better. Of course, really happy to see Yanya up here as well. I miss the old Liquid squad, and it's nice to see that Yanya is still able to perform at such a high level as he's now on Envy. But I have to really praise Liquid for the way that they went about this, and I want to say Furia as well. I liked the way that they took high ground. They did have a kind of awkward end game, but Furia actually played this whole mid-game sequence with incredible accuracy, I'll say.
Yeah, most definitely. And as you said, you know, we've seen several huge plays in this game one. In this game one, we've seen an incredible Valko. We've seen an incredible fight in Kravis. We've seen Team Liquid like understand and acknowledge that that was the power spot they had to fight for, which won them the game. We've seen GoNext making sure to clean out their side. We've seen so many teams make plays after plays, and we're in the last series. People are throwing Hail Marys, and we can definitely feel it from each and every team. It's not just 1, 2, 3 teams that, you know, people are consistently saying they're the heavy hitters. No, every team is doing everything they can to make sure something sticks on them.
Yeah, I mean, even from very early on into this game, we had teams that were really searching for kills, really going hard. It is these last couple of games, and we have got another game on World's Edge coming up right after this.
Not a good play, not a good play, help me! Against Alliance.
Lead coming in from empty.
You're on latte.
Strong!
Coming in chat with me today, and good luck. Thank you.
Alienware,
the official PC of the Apex Legends Global Series.
Welcome back to Daiwa House here in Sapporo, where it is a wonderful evening for some Apex Legends, some end of the group stages. Downtown Sapporo, wonderful to check out after you've completed the evening. There's some wonderful food options, and even before the event tomorrow, where we'll have plenty going on. But it's nice and snowy. We've got the Snow Festival coming up as well, and here we get to celebrate all of that by pitting the